Okay. Well, thanks, Dennis, for taking the time to show us around.
You're welcome, Pam. Thanks for taking the time to come visit.
You ruined that one. Hi, welcome back to Creekbend in Bloom. I'm Pam Bonin, Marketing Manager for Oliver Winery. I'm here with Dennis Dunham, our very talented winemaker.
Hello, Pam.
Hi. It's a busy time for you this year, isn't it?
It is busy. It's busy, but it's been manageable so far this year.
Cool. Well, I'm hoping that you can talk to us today about what you're doing today. We've got this big, huge honkin' machine back here that looks scary to me.
Honkin' machine. It does honk every once in a while.
I don't know why I said honkin'.
But no, this is our press. So we've harvested Chambourcin from our vineyard, Creekbend vineyard, and we are pressing it off immediately. We're going to make some juice out of it to start with, and then that juice will turn into Chambourcin Rose. So for Rose, it's when we take a red grape and treat it like a white wine. And so we're going to just take the stems off. We're going to crush it ever so slightly, just split that berry open, come into the press and press it off, and then go into a tank and cold settle it for a little while. And we'll start the fermentation on clean juice after some solids have settled down to the bottom of the tank.
Chambourcin Rose is my favorite wine, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, I can't wait to taste. Can I taste the juice?
Of course we can taste the juice.
Well, hey, before that, I do want to know a little bit more about what the difference is between making a red wine and making a white wine, because Chambourcin is a powerhouse grape for us. It makes 3 different wines for us.
Sure.
A dry red, the rosé, and also a dessert wine.
Well, stylistically, we have choices with a pigmented grape, what we typically think of as a red grape. We can just treat it like we treat a white wine and press it immediately, ignore its color. And then in the case of a dry red wine, or your typical red wines as you know them, we're going to take and crush the fruit, take the stems off, split that berry open, and go into a tank immediately and start the fermentation right away. And that's going to be to extract the color and some tannin from those skins. So talking about Chambourcin, that this is not typical for color extraction of just pressing it on the skins. This is more typical of what would happen. This is Cabernet. We did this in the lab, so we're doing some chemistry on analysis on this today to see when this is going to be ready to harvest. And so this is hand pressing, but really it mimics what you would get normally in the
This is Creekbend Cabernet.
Press. This is Creekbend Cabernet. So this would be the color. Excuse me. This would be the color of the wine or the juice if we did not ferment on the skins. So in order to get the color that you're traditionally going to find in a Cabernet, you have to include the skins. Yep. So you can see that Chambourcin is it's a really unique grape in order to have this much color just freshly pressed.
So Dennis, we harvested Marechal Foch about a month ago. I'm really curious to hear more about how this process of how we make Marechal Foch is different from how we make Chambourcin.
Well, first of all, it's one of the first grapes that we'd harvest, which would be also traditional with a Nouveau Beaujolais, which is the style that we make it in is a Nouveau style. So Nouveau Beaujolais be the same thing. They'd have some early harvesting of fruit, so some really bright fruity characteristics in the red grapes at that time. And so what happens in that tank? So the clusters, the stems, it's just like a grape cluster, a whole grape cluster. The whole tank's filled with grape clusters. We've gone through before that and we've evacuated the tank, the air out of the tank. We've put CO2 in the tank. And we know that in the absence of oxygen, grape clusters, the cells will actually start breaking down. And to make it simple, it just creates some really bright, fruity flavors in the Nouveau style.
That are quite unique and different.
Very, very unique. They don't exist. We talk a lot about creating flavors in the vineyard. These flavors weren't created in the vineyard. They were created in the tank, in this special environment, the special circumstance. These flavors are developed.
And usually it's the first release of the season for Creekbend, right?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm excited to taste it.
Let's taste it.
No pressure, but there's a lot of anxious customers out there that are really excited.
I know that.
It's got quite a nice following out there.
I promise that we'll beat the French in releasing it.
You heard it here. That's great. I'm really excited to have this. Thanks. Well, thanks, Dennis, for giving me a sneak preview of Marechal Foch Nouveau.
You're welcome. Is that like your 5th class?
Yeah, pretty much. Thank God it's after lunch.